We gather here today intent on doing good work. We seek to represent fairly and well those who have given us this task. May our efforts be made with insight, guided by understanding and wisdom. We seek to serve with respect for all. May our personal faiths give us strength to act honestly and well in all matters before us. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Mr. Redding.
Here.
Mrs. Dosa.
Here.
Mr. George.
Here.
Mr. Young.
Here.
Me.
Ms. Rissel. Here. Mr. Custer.
Here.
Ms. Hayes.
Here.
Thanks, everyone, for being here. Your last meeting's minutes are on your desk. Please take a look if you have any corrections or questions.
I read it already. I don't have any corrections.
If you don't see anything, I'd like to ask for a motion to adopt.
Make a motion to adopt this printed.
Ms. Rissel,
I'll second.
with a second by Mr. George. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Correspondence. On everyone's desk, you should have the January 2026 police report. You also have an invitation to a local officials training on Saturday, March 16th, so take a look at both of those. Do we have any guests or special events? Any public input? Mayor's report.
Good evening. I have a few things. We had the America 250 resolution that we passed at the last meeting. That has been emailed, and we're waiting for a response back. There will be events that they will be highlighting. They do have a website if you want to go to the Ohio America 250. I've started meeting with some community members and groups on events that we could have this year. I met with a woman who has done a lot of work in social media down at Fibonacci, Megan LeMay. I met with her this week, and we've come up with an idea that we were going to try to have a porch fest. That would be on Sunday, June the 14th. That's Flag Day. And everything's preliminary right now, but Megan has agreed to help with a lot of this planning. And so what it would be is celebrating different music in our country. And so you would go from porch to porch during different times on a Sunday afternoon, and you would listen to different genres of music. And then we happened to have another community person in there at that time, Maria, who connected us with a salsa group. And so we'll maybe have an event at the coffee shop during that day also. So it sounds exciting. There's a lot of details to work out. As we get the details worked out, I'll give you more information, and we want to try to get the details worked out pretty quickly because you just need to have people save the date, and you want people to be able to enjoy the different musical venues that we'll be having on different porches. So I'll give you more details later. Also was contacted by the American Legion, Heidi, who is usually is in charge of the parade. They would like to plan some things, but they want to make sure that they're kind of working with us. So I emailed her back and said I would love to meet with you, and if anybody wants to meet also with me, would be great, to see what their ideas are. Also, the Historical Society will be meeting tomorrow night to talk about some of the things they would like to do, and so then I'll be meeting with their president after that just to coordinate. I have talked briefly a few months ago with the superintendent of our school district, Dr. Wilson, about making sure that we can connect, and Cordell and I've been thinking about this, having a community dinner which would maybe be around September, and we would have it at the event center and have the culinary students producing the menu and the food and kind of celebrating. We could have music from the students, artwork, and also just celebrating as a community history and a lot of things about our community. So we're going to try to get really working on that also. I also, during the Porch Fest, I know that, I don't know if you know this, Ms. Anderson, but the high school, if they still have a jazz band, it would be great if we could have them on a porch doing jazz. So I'm going to try to get in contact with the school system to see if they've got a musical group of kids. I also know that some people have children that play instruments, and I don't know if they're in any kind of a band, but we could find that information out too. Also, there are two little girls that are a street over from me that always have a lemonade stand and that. So Megan and I were talking about at some of the venues, we could have kids in the community have a lemonade stand, and they could sell their lemonade, and so it would be a big community event. So we're working on those plans. So if you'd like to join me in any of that planning, give me any input, I would certainly appreciate it. Healthcare Connections, I know Ms. Hayes brought that up to me this evening too. The Healthcare Connections is opening up their pharmacy and vision center, which they've been planning. You're on the board, aren't you?
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm gonna let you get that information out, since you are on the board, Denise.
Oh, thank you, Madam Mayor. So, good morning, good evening, everybody. The Healthcare Connection, as you know, has a Mount Healthy location. It's been there for over 5 years, maybe going on 10. We are now opening, not only do we have provide medical and behavioral health and dental, we now are offering vision and a full service pharmacy. So Mount Healthy has not had a pharmacy in a while, and it's in the city limits, I don't believe. The closest would be, of course, Kroger. So this is an awesome thing that's happening. The ribbon cutting is next week on, I believe it's Wednesday afternoon, and then there'll probably be another open house, but it's a full-service pharmacy, and we're very excited about it. I've been with this organization for over 12 years as a board member, and I've seen a lot of things grow, and during this time, it's very difficult to get the medical needs met, especially in this current environment. So just wanted to make sure that was publicly announced that that is happening. The Healthcare Connection serves the underinsured, the uninsured, and the insured. I've gone through many different levels of insurance in my life, and I stick with them no matter what. So they are my provider, full
They
transparency.
have dental care there too.
And they have dental, and so the main office is in Lincoln Heights, and they've been there for several years, over 50, actually going on 60 now. And we actually are the nurse at Mount Healthy, and we are a nurse at a couple other we call them school-based health centers. So long history with Mount Healthy, and just wanted to make sure you all know that that's happening. It's a good thing.
I did see that they will also deliver. The pharmacy
Yes.
will be a delivery.
We have our own delivery service for pharmacy.
too.
You don't have to use another organization, they will deliver it. Yes, sir.
And I think it's the 18th.
18th, yeah,
Yep.
18th, sorry,
Yeah,
18th.
Yeah, at 3:30 is the ribbon cutting, and there is, if you want to be there, there is RSVP to Christine Bright
Right.
by the 16th. So if anyone can make that, I will be out of town. If anybody can make that, I know you
I'm
said you're
I'm
gonna
planning
be
to
there.
go, and I think, I remember
We
she's.
can let them know an RSVP
I can-
for
I can
you,
get you on
or
the
give you
list.
the connection. What'd you say?
I can get them on the list.
Yeah,
If you
right.
want to go. Yes.
So
Yeah, it's pretty exciting.
what do you think, do you have times for the pharmacy?
The times, no, I don't have the times right here, but I can get them for you. It would be pretty much normal times. It's normal hours, but
Like
we
8
do.
to 8 or something like
Yeah,
that? It
yes.
won't be 24 hours? or-
No,
okay.
no, not like that. But we, the medical center itself does have a late day. I think it's on Thursday, but I could get the hours for you, no problem.
Oh, no, just
Just
for the
wondering.
public. That's great that we have one in the city now, again.
Exactly.
Not
I'm
since-
so excited about that.
Yeah.
CVS and both Walgreens gone.
Gone,
Yep.
yep.
Okay, this next item is women in government. So we have women here that are in government. On March the 10th, which is not a council night, because last year it was on a council night, at 4 p.m. downtown, The email was from Denise Driehaus. Did everybody get that? I know Peggy got it. Did you get it?
I didn't see it.
Okay.
see it either.
I'll forward it to you. There's a flyer on
Sure.
it. Yeah, it was sent out yesterday on the city email.
Let me double check.
And went to it last year, and it's really nice. It's a nice event. So if you can put that on your calendar.
What was the
women.
date again? What was-
It's March 10th at 4 o'clock. Yep. And the email was from Denise Driehaus.
And then there's hors d'oeuvres afterwards.
Okay.
In a local restaurant, whatever.
Did she put that in that email this year too? Is it still at the same place, Arnold's?
It did not say,
It-
it said walking distance.
It was really nice last year. We had to leave a little early because we had council meeting, but it was nice. Okay. Another thing I'd like to announce is just We Thrive is going to have their meeting February the 10th at 4 PM at the library from 5 to 6. I will not be able to attend because I'll be in Wilmington to talk. And I do know that Trinity Church is doing the We Run program that'll be starting in March. So they'll be talking about that. I've signed up to be a volunteer to walk with the kids at South. That'll run from March until April when the school district has their run walk in April. So if you are interested, it'll be, I think on a Wednesday afternoon, for 1 hour. I can get you the details. I will be going to a meeting Sunday to find out the final information on the We Run program, which they're doing through We Thrive. And I think that's everything.
Thank you, Mayor. City Manager's report, Mr. Bauer.
So Sarah already mentioned the invite. You can either reach out to Zaya at the bottom here directly, or if you'd like me to, that'd be fine. I think the township does this every year. I've heard it's a good event, so it's about records retention, ethics, sunshine laws. They talk about finance, economic development, just how to work with your city's administration. So let me know, or you can reach out directly. Let's see, as far as my report, our two new council members, let me know if you're having any additional IT issues. If, reach out to me, or again, I can give you the Intrust email or number again if you guys need to set up your phones and stuff like that. Don't be shy. Let's see, fire department, we had a nice meeting with Lexipol, so starting to put together all of our policies and procedures and getting all that together. I mean, they've said it can be as much as a 2-year process, depending how much time you're able to dedicate to it, but we've got one guy on light duty that we're hoping can put a lot of grunt work into it, and we can get this down to more of a few months. But it's a big undertaking, but Lexipol will be a great tool to help us build that out. Police, I'll leave that to our chief here, but I will mention I met 2 of our cadets, our 2 new cadets on Monday. They seem very happy and enthusiastic. It was nice meeting them. They haven't started the academy yet, so we hope they keep that enthusiasm. But it was exciting to meet those 2 guys. Let's see, Public Works here. Snow, yeah, if anyone in the community is still having issues, reach out to feedback or call directly. I know the guys were out this weekend, pretty much the last half of last week with the Bobcat and the backhoe, just trying to dig out the big piles of snow and just dump them in the park. Thankfully, the snow today didn't seem like it was anywhere near as bad as what they were calling for, so got up there and got some of the sidewalks taken care of, and again, a little bit more of the big snow piles removed. I'm still working with JMA on our park ADA ramp. They've got the structural engineer and the civil drawings done, or they've got a quote to do them. Then hopefully within the next 4 weeks, they'll have those put together. And then it'd be nice if by summertime we were having construction, we'd have it bid and have the contractor picked. So could be potentially built this year. Do have a nice update on the Bernard House, 7437, January 1st of 2023. It's the house that burnt out on Bernard. It's maybe 2 or 3 houses in when you come in off of Compton. It's kind of going through the court system. They finally reached a settlement between the owner, the bank, and I think there was a third party. But it's finally been settled. We know who now is the owner. It's a mortgage company, so kind of still working with them to see exactly what they're going to do with it, if they'll just demolish it or if they'll put the money into it. But it's actually finally reached a legal settlement with that. Facade improvement, had a meeting with the county, so we officially closed out the phase 2, got everything submitted. That was one reason our general fund was lower at the end of the year. We had probably $160 $60,000 in reimbursements we had to apply for. That's all been submitted. There's also CDBG funds for code enforcement. That's another $25,000. I still have yet to submit that, but that's all from expenses in 2025. That'll just go right back into our general fund, so that'll be nice. We'll have a meeting coming up here in the next month to go over the next phase of facade improvement. Just want to mention that the school board and the commission did officially pass the resolution for it to be on the May ballot for the 0.75% income tax. It's about $3.3 million that they're looking to get. That, just for information, it's equivalent of a 6.2 mil levy, but again, it'll be income tax instead of property tax, so just know that that's coming. I think that's all I have. JMA is putting together specs for the Hamilton Avenue and Stevens intersection. We have CDBG funds specifically for streetscape improvements, so it'd be building bump outs to make it more pedestrian friendly, potentially upgrading the crosswalk features, that kind of stuff. So hopefully the next few months we'll get drawings for that. I believe that is all that I have.
Thank you, Mr. Bauer. The police chief report, Chief Deidesheimer.
Yeah, as the city manager said, we hired 2 officers. They're not certified. They'll go to the Ohio State Highway Patrol Academy. That's on Monday. Think about the Ohio State Highway Patrol Academy. That is paid for through the state of Ohio. So that's nothing that we don't have to pay them to go to the academy. If we were to send them to like a Scarlet Oaks or a vocational, that'd probably be about $10,000 per. So I went there. It's intense training. It's the best training in Ohio. And once these guys come out, they'll certainly know how to do the job. We'll probably have to unwind them a little bit. They'll be around pretty tight. So we're looking forward to it. They seem excited. This will put our staffing levels up to 15 officers with these 2 hires. We did get the COPS grant, which allowed us to hire 2 officers, so certainly can offset costs there. Let's see, helped out during the snow emergency. Even though the city manager put out the notification that it was a snow emergency a day ahead of time, still there were several cars that needed to be addressed. Tickets were written, a couple cars were towed. Usually when the officer came out there to start taking action, people came out of their houses and started moving the cars, and so that certainly helped. So we did what we could to help as far as Mike and his crew in moving those cars. We did have to replace 2 radios and order 2 additional radios for our officers. We are able to offset those costs through our continuing professional training reimbursement from last year, which I'm not quite sure. Melody will probably tell us what the full amount was, but it's close to 15,000, maybe closer to 20 after everything. And we were able to sell a decommissioned police car, so kind of offset the cost there. Calls for service were up 23%. From 2024 and 2025. I always say that's not necessarily a bad thing. A lot of these are quality of life calls. Thing that would really concern me is when people stop calling. I think what we're seeing coming across from reports, certainly quality of life calls, things where people are coming in and asking for the police for help, like civil calls and things like that, but our officers are able to handle that. So people are asking more of the police officers these days, but I think we're willing to help them out. And I think we can. The library detail has been a great success, and our cooperation with the high school, we had a meeting with the superintendent and the principal, as well as the library staff in December, and we were able to get the library detail staffed all through December, January, and all through February. Calls for service have gone down significantly. So I think we are helping them create an atmosphere that they want over there. And Cordell goes there a lot, and it seems like it's what it's supposed to be. So I think it's hopefully continued success and no issues there. Looking at crime statistics at the end of 2025, Part 1 crimes are up a little bit as attributed to increase in burglary calls. Everything else is pretty much stable. Tickets were about stable. So I like where we're at as far as what we're doing from a policing standpoint. Crashes were down, which was great. So we continue to do what we can, and I'd like to address some of the stuff as far as the burglary and larceny type stuff, but I think we're certainly continue to head in the right direction.
Any questions for the chief?
One quick question.
Thank you.
Just one question, Chief. On your statistics for traffic summary and calls for service, so, like, the traffic citations are not part of calls for service, correct?
They are. So you get, calls for service are everything. Calls for service are self-initiated activity as well as.
Oh,
non-
it's self-initiated too?
activity.
Okay.
This includes everything. This is the
Okay.
number of calls that we dealt with.
Okay.
Yeah.
So these other numbers are embedded in the 11,698?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
The Clovernook Avenue, or Clovernook Apartments, that seems like it's gone up a little bit too.
Yeah.
What kind of things or what kind of activity are you having down there? Is there anything different?
Severity, not as much. It seemed like this summer was pretty good. I think Clovernook is doing a good job as far as dealing with evictions. They've expedited that. I think they've tightened up their leasing agreements, which has helped us on certain situations. We're very forthcoming with information when we do have a situation over there regarding any type of criminal activity, and they are taking immediate action. Most of it is quality of life type calls.
Okay.
You're still that many people over there, you're gonna get just anywhere, like you're gonna get domestics, you're gonna get barking dogs, you're gonna get neighbor disputes, you're gonna get, loud cars, loud stereos, things like that. But all in all, it's been, I won't say satisfied, but I think it's okay.
Okay. I was just checking. It was just, for a January, and as lousy our weather's been, I thought it was a little high for a January, but.
Everybody's inside, everybody's playing stereos, everybody's
Yeah,
having some parties
exactly.
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But there was one, we have a sexual assault. This was parties known to each other. It wasn't like a situation where it's a danger to the public, and it's an ongoing investigation, which those are always kind of convoluted to deal with. But Ray Seehausen's working with them, and we'll see where it goes.
Thank you.
Mr. Redding?
Just for a point of interest, there were 1,237 calls for service last year at Clovernook Apartments.
Yeah.
Which comes out to over 100 a month, so, on average. But yeah, I thought the 98 for year-to-date for January was a little high compared to last January, but again, half of that could have been snow-related, so.
And some of those also include medical runs as well, because we
Yeah.
dispatch the medical runs as far as, anything, our officers go there too.
Okay.
So we're not talking everything's like people calling the cops on everybody over there. It's like some of those things, we get dispatched to the medical stuff.
Did anyone else have anything for the chief? Chief Tynesheimer, thank you.
Thank you.
We have a second reading of a resolution. 26-1237, a resolution requesting the county auditor to make payments of taxes pursuant to Ohio Revised Code 321.34.
Again, this is just sort of an administrative one we do at the beginning of each year. If by chance we do want to request the funds, you have to have passed this first to do that. We've never actually requested the funds in advance, but it's just the prudent thing to have this already passed in case of an emergency.
I make a motion to adopt 26-1237.
A motion was made by Mr. Redding. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
With a second by Mr. Young.
Mr. Redding,
Aye.
Mrs. Dosa,
Aye.
Mr. George,
Aye.
Mr. Young,
All right.
Ms. Rissel, Mr. Custer,
Aye.
Ms. Hayes.
Aye.
7-0, the motion has passed. We also have a first reading of ordinances, 26-2071. It just came to our desk before the meeting. An emergency ordinance authorizing all actions necessary to support the continuation of a governmental electricity aggregation program with opt-out provisions pursuant to Section 4928.20 Ohio Revised Code, directing the city manager to enter a supply agreement with Dynegy Energy Services to continue its electric aggregation program. Does anyone have any questions?
So our current program is 13 months, ends in May. Our current rate is 8.81, and I was kind of going through previous emails. This electric one has kind of been coming up more and more each year. We were on a 3-year back before 2023, our rate was 4.87. And to kind of, you can see, the goal now is to get below 10 cents. If we can be below 10 cents, we feel like it's a win. So the price has doubled over the past few years here. So we had a 3-year contract, then we went to a 2, and then we went to a 1. They're recommending a 2 just kind of as a mid-year. Again, it's still kind of fluctuating with just the energy market. I know they would love to have this as soon as possible, definitely by the end of the month. So if we wanted to do 1 reading or 2 readings, that would be fine. But in general, they're suggesting a 25-month rate with Dynegy, which is also our current supplier. I know I emailed out the slide deck that they came out and presented to me. They'd be more than happy to come out at our next meeting if we really wanted to hear it directly from them. But I mean, they pretty much go right off of the slide deck, and pretty much everything's in the one pager that I put on your desk with all the talking points. So again, they're suggesting the 25-month rate. By passing this, you would be selecting Dynegy. It's kind of generic wording. It doesn't really say the term, but I mean, you tell me what term you want. And I've
Doesn't
got,
lock in our rate yet.
correct.
Yes, okay.
But we would want to say what term we want. I know they sent me an email just today. The rates had spiked over 10 cents, but they feel like if we wait, a few weeks, we can let it settle back below 10. When they presented it to me, it was 9.93. Let's see, what is it today? I can tell you. 25-month is 10.24. So I think we can wait a little bit to get it back below 10 cents, but that's pretty much where everyone is hovering, but Dynegy tends to be just under the 10 cents. Everyone else kind of seems to be a little bit above 10 cents. So there are other options, 12, 13, 24, 25 months. The 12 and 13 months are cheaper than the 2-year, so I mean, you still have that option. Again, they just feel like it's still prudent to kind of lock it in for sort of a mid-term, which would be the 2 years, 25 months.
What's our deadline to lock in?
They want us to have decided on Dynegy, which, they had Constellation and Direct Energy were the other two that submitted quotes. Dynegy was clearly the cheaper one. So I think it makes sense to go with Dynegy. The term, again, they would want it by the end of the month. We can kind of wait. I don't know what the deadline would be to wait for the rate to pull the trigger on that.
Yes, that's
but
what I was,
yeah.
that's what I was wondering about.
In general, it expires in May. They want to start getting out. One reason they want it by the end of the month is because they start sending out mailings and just kind of notifying people of what's happening. I would have to clarify to see what the firm deadline is on the actual rate, but they would definitely want us to have decided on Dynegy and the term by the end of the month.
Okay.
So if you're fine with what their recommendation was, which is again 25 months with Dynegy, you could do 2 readings, but. And again, let me know if you want Eric to come out. He's the gentleman that came out. It's probably been just a few months now when he came out and talked about the gas aggregation. He'd be more than happy to come and speak to it directly. But I feel like all the information he would say is probably within this. But whatever your preference.
So, did you have a phone conversation with him?
He was here in person.
Okay. Did he say anything about the impact of data warehouses on?
He.
And AI, that's what's
Yes,
been on the
that's-
news. Electric rates are gonna be going higher and higher because of the couple of those issues. And
From my understanding, I think Ohio State Senate, state government was looking at if data warehouses are going to come into Ohio, they have to bring their own electric with them. So basically, they're going to have to build out their electric supply. And
Right.
Shouldn't be hard on, all the other retail customers and.
Wilmington's dealing with that right now, Wilmington, because
Yes,
a data center wants to go in at Wilmington, and they're really trying to fight it, I think. because of
Pushing
that.
back a little bit, probably because of the potential for electric rates. I don't know if that's DP&L territory or if they have their own, but anyway, that's something to consider when we're going through this.
There are 3-year rates with Constellation and Direct Energy. One reason a lot of these places don't go out that far is because there is unknowns, and it's for that reason, the capacity issues. They don't want to go out further than that because they don't know what their costs are going to be as providers. So again, that's kind of why they're leaning towards the 25-month, kind of a midterm solution, and kind of wait it out and see what happens with the capacity, building out the network and everything.
Yeah, 10% or 10 cents a kilowatt hour is just, wow.
Yeah, again, it was below 5 cents when I guess that would have been 2020, 2019-ish, that we would have had our 3-year contract. Yeah, but then I don't know what it was in 23, but we went to a 2-year for 23 and 24, and then we just had 25 as a 1-year.
Yep. Okay.
Council, what would you like to do?
Do we
again-
have time for a 2 reading?
Yeah. So again, passing this would be officially selecting Dynegy. I think that's obvious, but then it would be a verbal telling me what you would want me to sign on with IEC. But if you want, are you interested in them coming out and speaking? Or I can set up a call if anyone in particular wants to just speak with them directly. It doesn't necessarily have to come here depending on your interest level in speaking with them.
And we've been with Dynegy before, I believe. Yep.
Yeah, I know our last one's Dynegy. I think before that it might have been Energy Harbor. I mix up the gas and electric. I forget, but we've had Dynegy before.
Okay.
We're on Dynegy now, but I think we've even had them before.
Okay.
First reading only?
Yes.
Okay.
Would you like me to invite him out at the next meeting? Is that,
It's up
are
to
we,
council.
are we interested in this,
I know
or?
what I'm doing here in the evenings here this week, so.
I think
Scott,
this,
or-
I'm guessing by looking at the supplier pricing that they're pretty much, and it doesn't matter which one of the 3 companies or suppliers, they're always assuming that it's gonna go up each year, and you're hoping by taking more months on that you're gonna get the best by taking more months because they assume it's gonna go up.
Right. I mean, you could take the 12-month, that's, it's like 10, I don't even know how to say it in the way this is converted, but it's 9.93 in the presentation they gave me for 25 months. 12 or 13 months is about 9.8, so it is cheaper, but then you run the risk that after there's a little bit more of an unknown. In a year, it could be more than what we would have signed on for the 25-month. I mean, that's just kind of the game you have to play. I mean, sometimes we've come out ahead, sometimes not. We did the 2 12-month time periods for gas, and I think it probably would have been better for us if we'd gone with the 24-month, but I mean, it wasn't like it was a huge loss for us, and we kind of took the chance that the rate would go back lower, and it didn't, unfortunately. But again, that's the game you're playing.
Yeah, my concern is when we can possibly lock in, especially if we can get into the spring months.
Yeah, I'll reach out to them and just see what the hard deadline is on that.
Okay.
And I want to ask a question as a resident. So if you wait, and this is a first reading, and you go to the second reading, if you would pass it tonight, and for some reason in between those 2 weeks, which you don't think the rate's going to change and go down, we can't lock in then, because we haven't passed this.
Correct.
Correct, yeah. So why would we, sorry, I bring it up.
Well, that's why I was asking for when the deadline is to lock in, because I'm hoping the deadline is further out into the springtime where rates should drop down.
Yeah, I mean, if you're comfortable with the recommendation, you could always just pass it and, verbally say you want the 25 months, and then kind of do what we did with the gas, where we just, I know Bob.
We waited a few weeks, yeah.
Yeah, you and we
Yeah,
were
when
kind
we
of getting
said-
emails back and forth. We just kind of waited till it got, and I forget what rate we were kind of trying to get below. So I mean, you can still play that game even if you do
Yes.
pass it. Just wait, and that's what they're recommending too. Is pass it as soon as possible, and then that's what they're recommending too. Just wait a few weeks for the rate to go back down.
How big of a group are we in with this one?
I mean, this is just us. I mean, there's other neighborhoods that are. I mean, I know Loveland is always on the same.
Is always, yeah, that's.
Pretty
what
much
I
always
thought.
on the same
Loveland, Reading.
term period.
Yeah.
I think Green Hills is one they visit a lot, but we're not really in the same program as them. I mean, they're kind of negotiating the same kind of contract, but we're not in it with them. It's not
Okay.
like our insurance pool is with 40
Yeah.
other communities.
We
and
need to
our
think-
money is actually pooled
We need
together.
to think about trying to get a pool, because the more you got,
Right.
the more people in there, the better your chances of getting
Bigger
a
your
little bit
buying
lower
power,
rate.
sure.
So, okay,
So this is just City of Mount Healthy.
okay, yeah, I think I am good with, going with,
Passing it.
well, not passing it, but going with just the one reading tonight, or not a two reading. I think I'm good with doing it one reading. So, just in case it gets warm, it's not supposed to next week, but we do have a 50-degree day in there somewhere, so. So let me do this. Make a motion to suspend the two reading rule.
I'll second that.
The motion to suspend the two reading rule was made by Mr. Redding with a second by Mr. Custer.
Mr. Redding,
Aye.
Mrs. Dosa,
Aye.
Mr. George,
Aye.
Mr. Young,
Aye.
Ms. Rissel, Mr. Custer,
Aye.
Ms. Hayes.
Aye.
The two reading rule was suspended. Anyone have any questions or any further discussion?
The only thing I have on this paper, it still has Denise Lingo, Robert Parsons,
Yeah.
so, just so you know. Other than that, I'm good, but
Even have it in front of me? Is that what it says?
Make Mr. Parsons sign it.
Would anyone like to make a motion to adopt as corrected?
I'll make a motion to adopt as corrected ordinance number 26-2071.
Second,
I'll second that.
Mr. Young. Roll call, please.
Actual email Scott, though.
Mr. Redding,
Aye.
Mrs. Dosa,
Aye.
Mr. George,
Aye.
Mr. Young,
Aye.
Ms. Rissel,
Aye.
Ordinance number 26-2071 is adopted.
So I'll confirm a firm date on the lock-in, but I'll share with whoever's interested in the rates that come out. They usually send them to me almost every day, so kind of keep everyone in the loop. And I'll contact Scott to let him know what our updated list of council members is. So.
Do we have an idea about how many people opt out in Mount Healthy yet? Those kind of numbers?
I don't, you know what, I'm sure he could tell me. I'm not sure what the opt-out rate is. Yeah.
Just curious.
Again, there's no fees for opting out or even opting in, and then you can leave it without fees. So, I mean, that's kind of the nice thing about it. If you want to think you can get a different rate, you can hop off the plan, find your own rate.
Mr. Redding?
Yeah, just as a reminder, you can go out to the PUCO website, and they had do an apples-to-apples comparison for both electric and gas, so to help you make a decision. And there are some where there's a upfront fee, and there are some that don't, some that do, some that also have, you know, if you walk away before the contract, there's early opt-out fees too, so just kind of pay attention to that. But so if you decide to opt out, and I think with our plan, you can opt out whenever you want, right? So.
Yeah, I don't know how much you could, join, then opt out, then get, I don't know how much you could try to play that game. I'm sure there's a limit to how much you could hop on and off, but in general, you can get on it for free and leave it for free, at least the one time.
Can you say that again, Joe, where people can find that?
On the PUC, Public Service, or Public Utilities Commission of Ohio.
Okay.
I think if you just Google like apples to apples utilities or something like that, it should just pop up. And they'll just list all the different.
I'm sure you're looking at Ohio's though.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Duke even has a link somewhere on their website. I know I found it before. It's out there if you kind of just search for it.
All right, any old business? Any new business?
I have something I'd like to say. I think, school's closed tomorrow, and there is a bit of a growing safety concern for as long as the students have to walk in the street to get to school. And from where I'm sitting, it looks like they're closed tomorrow because that's the case. So I would just like to encourage folks to do their part if they can, but also that comes with a double-edged sword, I think. And I guess I would just ask for clarification. What's the policy that people might be afraid to shovel the bit of sidewalk in between their house and the street.
I mean, I know I've heard all kinds of stories. If you shovel it, you're leaving yourself open to liability or anything like that. I mean, I don't think there's a lot of truth to a lot of those stories, but in general, it is the responsibility of the homeowner. I know I got out there with the snow blower today trying to work on Hamilton Avenue, but I mean, there's obviously many other side streets that the students are using. So, I mean, there's way too much for, even if we could double or triple the size of our public works to take care of the sidewalks ourselves. So it really is on the homeowners to get out there and shovel as much as they can. And, we try to again, we had the Bobcat and the backhoe out there trying to shovel the snow off of Hamilton Avenue as much as we could, get the big snow pile so you could cross over. I know I did McMacken and Hamilton myself, and I went all the way up to Adams with the snow blower. But, I mean, there's a lot, and a lot of other side streets too, so.
Yeah, in my opinion, I think it's unfortunate, but, then something will happen. But it's kind of over precautious, and it's unfortunate that the, schools closing for that. School's not closed?
Today, but not tomorrow.
Were you closed last week? I know Monday through.
Last week for the weather, and then we were closed today as well.
Okay.
Because,
All the schools were today.
I know my kids were closed too in Loveland, so.
Yeah, but it is not closed tomorrow.
Because on the Mount Healthy Facebook page, Mount Healthy School District Facebook page, it definitely says it's closed tomorrow and closed Thursday.
What day was that posted?
I think today.
I would love to hear somebody that has legal knowledge to weigh in on the reality of whether or not somebody is held liable for a slip and fall when you actually made an effort. I mean, the act of God versus you shoveled. I get what they're trying to say there. I mean, if you did a really crummy job and they end up falling because of that, then you didn't do a good enough job. But on the other hand, is it an act of God when we're, a week later and you haven't removed your snow? Because to me, it seems like that would go out the window at that point, and you're actually now liable because you didn't shovel for a whole week. It didn't happen overnight, and you didn't get to it. You haven't got to it for a week.
I'd have to look again, but I think our ordinances say it's something like 24 hours. I mean, we do have something in our ordinance that has a time period on when you're supposed to have shoveled. I don't know that we've ever really enforced it that hard. I mean, when you have it, I agree that a week after, it's kind of what's your excuse? There's not really a good one, but.
I mean, granted, this year this is a big snow. I mean, we don't normally have those kind of snow events in Mount Healthy, but realistically, I mean, we've had plenty of time to make an effort, and if there's kids that walk past your house, then obviously that's, it affects them.
Yeah, like I mentioned, I used the snow blower today, and I think that's a good. I had never seen her use it. We usually just used it around the city property, but it's actually a pretty nice one, and I'm hoping maybe in the future, either myself or it'd be great if someone else would do it, because it's a long walk up and down Hamilton Avenue, especially this big of snow. But I'm happy to do it too. I put on my I grabbed some fire department boots and got out there to keep my feet dry. But I think we could use that to at least clear off Hamilton Avenue. I think that would be huge for students, for everybody really. But hoping to use that in the future. But again, when you have this much snow, it's kind of tough on everybody. But again, it's a week later. People should have taken care of this by now.
I think, I just checked. I misspoke. I digress, and I appreciate that's happening.
It's a good thing to bring up, though.
Yeah,
Talk about it.
yeah.
Make a motion to go into executive session.
Oh.
Mrs. Rissell with a
Wait a
second.
minute,
Oh,
I'll do it.
excuse me.
I make a motion for council to go into executive session concerning, in accordance with Ohio Revised Code 121.22 G1, to discuss appointment of a public employee.
With a second by Mrs. Rissell.
Nailed it, nailed it.
Is that a roll call?
Yep. Mr. Redding,
Aye.
Mrs. Dosa,
Aye.
Mr. George,
Aye.
Mr. Young,
Aye.
Ms. Rissel, Mr. Custer,
Aye.
Ms. Hayes.
Aye.
All right, so we'll go into executive session and we'll be back to adjourn.